Okay, the last step in the sales process, but not in the influence model, is closing the deal. Overcoming objections. How many of you raise your hand if you feel like you are actively involved in some sales capacity? Okay, so we all understand this concept of the objections that we get, right? We can all list them right now if we had to, and how they come as a barrier to our ability to close the deal. Okay, I've got some perspectives here, but I got to lead with another video.
What are you doing, honey?
Enjoying myself.
Oh, sir, there's no smoking on airplanes.
I know. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Don't worry about it. I'll be quick.
Sir, if you like that, I'll have to report you to the FAA.
Stacy, do you know when the first commercial flight went smokeless?
No.
1973. And did you know that in 1969, when smoking was allowed on all flights, we put a man on the moon?
I had no idea.
Look. You know what that is? That's a remnant of a better time. When they welded it shut. And it starts with ashtrays, and it ends with all of our precious freedoms being stripped away. I remember back in the day when you got on a plane and you knew you were in for a good time. A little smoking, a little drinking. And the stewardesses, Stacy, you come from a proud tradition of blazing hot stewardesses. And now you can't do one damn thing without someone reporting you to the Department of Homeland Security. Am I right? I had to take my pants off and nibble my Old Spice down to 3 ounces just to get on the plane, Stacy.
I
had to give up my bath jellies.
They made you breastfeed some old man.
That's what I'm talking about. We don't have to name Stacy. Like Henry David Thoreau and Rosa Parks and David Lee Roth when he left Van Halen, we can say enough. Enough injustice. And when you and I are old and gray, we can look back on this and remember when we were 30,000 feet above God's green earth and we smoked one. We smoked one for America!
Okay, so let's look at closing from an entirely different standpoint, because I don't know that I saw an option close in there. I don't think I saw very many canned closes that I've read in a book. Did you? What was the difference? What was his objective? Right, he was committed to an older time, right? And there was no give in that man. He was going to make that happen. He had the charisma to pull that off, but the word is assumptive. And it's the magic word today, assumptive. So let's start again. Let's go back to purpose. And let's go back to that movie that we were watching earlier about our lives, right? How assumptive are you to get to the end of that movie and make it the way you want it to be? Are you getting closed in your life, or are you closing, right? Are you making that stuff happen? And it doesn't mean you have to be extroverted, outgoing, ambitious, and all these things that this guy, because frankly, I don't really want to be that guy. And I think a lot of people relate to that when they look at the sales world and they say, I don't want to be that kind of a person. I don't like that. That's not me. And I don't think I can succeed because that's not me. And so I realized that being assumptive, what does assumptive mean? It means being committed to this end goal, right? I am sure that that's going to happen. I can be assumptive that I'm standing up here and this is going to go well. That's where I start. I didn't come up here wondering if this was going to work out or not. I came up here assured in myself and my confidence that this could be a good conversation. That's the level of assumptiveness we need for everything that we do. So when we look at that goal, that purpose, that customer, we don't go into any situation wondering if it's going to work out, or it's not up to me, it's up to them if they like it or not. That's the wrong way to think, because then you have an out. There's a reason to fail, right? He was not going to let anybody say no to him, so he got everybody on board, even if he had to completely reposition the argument to freedom in America, right? Yeah, there's some skill there, right, to kind of reposition the argument. But at the end of the day, it's about being assumptive. So when I talk about closing is so much easier if you know what's valuable to your customer. So I go back to my model. If you are in rapport, you can find out what they want. And if you can find out what they want, then you can understand how to make your product valuable to them. And if their product or if what you offer is valuable to them, they will have objections. It's not always that easy. But that rapport and that value creation will allow you to get from them what it is that they are looking for so that you can close them. And you don't close a sale at the end. You close it at the start. When you get there, you're closing. You're always closing. And it doesn't have to be techniques and tactics and option closes and trial closes and all the other closes that we've all memorized. You've just got to be focused on them and what's valuable to them. And whether I'm talking about a sales environment or I'm talking about your industry, it doesn't matter. You've got to create that value.